And a big shout out to 22 for the $20 super thanks and Not Your Business for the $25 super thanks. Thank you for donating to the Human Fund.
The Human Fund. Money for people.
What do you think?
It has a certain understated stupidity.
Unfortunately, I can't drink, or else I would take 2 shots, one for each of you guys that have been donating. But instead, because of my heart condition, I can't. So here's a video of me taking a shot. Cheers to that. We're going to be millionaires. Wow, that peppermint schnapps. Ooh, I haven't had that in a while. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about AMC. I'm going to ask GPT a question here. AMC, is it a buy on Tuesday? Let's just see what ChatGPT has to say. I did ask ChatGPT, hey, where do you think this stock is going? And one of the stocks did actually explode. So let's see what she has to say here. She, I think it's a she, right? I don't know. I'm going to call it a she. I don't want to think it's a dude. Okay, so there was a recent surge in the share price. So there's a lot of volatility, especially with the positive sentiment around meme stocks. The industry is recovering. It's showing signs of recovery with notable releases like Tune Part 2 and higher box office revenues. Technical indicators have been bullish, which could potentially indicate an upward trend. And the price targets are as low as $3.20 with some as high as $12, which is a 30% increase from where it's at right now. AMC's revenue for 2024 is forecasted to be slightly lower in 2023. Slightly lower than in 2023, but with an expected rebound in 2025, suggesting some optimism about future growth. Debt and dilution. The company has faced challenges with high levels of debt and equity dilution, which can impact its financial stability and shareholder value. That is something you need to be concerned about. You don't want to buy in and then it gets absolutely dumped on your head. If anything, you probably don't want to be swing trading AMC because you don't want to wake up the next day down like 30%. So probably better as a day trade though. If you want to swing trade this for some big money, wait for the bottom down here. The stock bottomed out between 250 and 280 before going on that huge run to almost $12. So if you're looking for a swing trade opportunity, definitely be patient. Exercise the patience and discipline necessary to buy the bottom. Okay, so that is if you're going to swing trade, if you're looking for the big swing, wait and see if it comes down here. If you want a day trade opportunity, I said yesterday there might be a good day trade opportunity depending on whether this thing breaks out above $5 or if it breaks down, then we just wait and play the swing trade instead and wait for it to come down to that 250 to 280 area. So that's what's going on with AMC here on the charts, especially with Tuesday around the corner. We could see, and GME popped in after hours, we could see AMC get a breakout above 5, and then we go to 6 and 7. So you can check that video out. But what I'm here to talk about is the fundamentals. This is actually a better stock than GME. GameStop, its revenues have been going flat, whereas AMC, I just looked at the income statement and the balance sheet. The total revenues have been climbing since 2020. 1.24 billion. They got hit hard by COVID, but they are recovering. So 1.24 billion in 2020, 2.53 billion in 2021, 3.91 billion in 2022, and then 4.81 billion in 2023. So you're seeing growth. The bottom line is the company growing its revenues. It is. So that, that's a positive right there. Unlike GameStop, which its revenues have been going flat. Cost of goods sold, I love cost of goods sold here too as well because the cost of goods sold since 2021 has been less than the total revenue. And again, they got hit pretty hard by COVID. So the fact that they are able to keep their cost of goods sold below their revenues means that eventually we could potentially become profitable depending on their operating expenses. So let's continue here. So I'm not concerned about the cost of goods sold. They are growing. Their cost of goods sold is underneath their revenue, so I'm happy so far. Gross profit, again, of course, it's going to keep increasing because the company is growing. operating expenses, let's see what's going on with the operating expenses. The operating expenses aren't too big. They're not big. Okay, so 2023, 4.81 billion in total revenue. Cost of goods sold 3.66 billion. If anything, their cost of goods sold is high. And their operating expenses negative 1.12 billion. So their operating expenses are what, about a fourth? Yeah, about a fourth of their total revenue. So that's good because I've seen some companies with big revenues, but their operating expenses are more than their revenues, and I'm like, okay, so that's not a business that I would want to invest in. Like, hey, I'm going to open up a hot dog stand, and guess what? It costs me way more money to operate the business than the than the money I make selling the dogs. So that's not a good company you want to put your money in. But this one looking good so far on the financials, operating income positive. Holy crap! What is this? Non-operating income in the negatives. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so yeah, they do have a big problem with that. Okay, so that's kind of the downside there. That's a downside, but it's a downside. But again, if you just look at the three big ones, total revenue, cost of goods sold, and operating expenses, as long as they continue on the trajectory that they are on, they will eventually be profitable. And then eventually they could pay off all the debt. Well, we would hope they would, right? Who knows? And of course, they have way more liabilities than assets. That is to be expected from a company like this that's always raising money and screwing shareholders. So that's why I was saying, I think it's, I think if you look at the numbers, it's growing. It has potential. It does have its issues. And if we combine this information with our knowledge of the charts, not a bad idea to accumulate this one under 250 for the next big run. And if you're looking at day trade, definitely Tuesday might be a good opportunity to play the breakout if it does happen. That is it for the video. Hopefully this helps you out. We don't just look at the technicals here, we look at the financials too. And I have to say on the financials, not bad. It has its issues, but there's I can see a path where this thing becomes profitable, pays down its debt, and we trade clean, and it's just sunshine and rainbows. Combine that with the technicals, and I think there's money to be made. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.